Hey, this is Gary Contessa again for Gary Contessa Television on YouTube. And today I'm sitting here with Dr. Don Baker. We're on the backside. We're sitting outside my barn. And Don is my racetrack vet. And he's actually my racetrack vet for about 20 years.
At least.
At least 20 years. And I'm still not sure I paid his first bill 20 years ago. But he keeps coming because he knows one of these days I'll pay him. But great guy. Great veterinarian, and he makes a lot of calls on behalf of my horses. Whatever we have, if I call him in the middle of the night, if we have a problem, he comes. If I call him in the middle of the afternoon, he comes. But racetrack vets don't just work for trainers, they work for lots of trainers, not one trainer. So Don might have 20 or 30 trainers he works for, and actually you could probably say that better than me.
Yeah, there's a lot of trainers, and the trick is staying with the trainers who you have a rapport with, and people who, as you diagnose things, they understand your language and we work together, because I don't tell trainers what to do. I offer my opinion, and if you have a certain comfort level that you've developed over the years, it just works. If you don't, it doesn't work at all.
And training horses don't talk. So being a coach of this barn, I'm coaching a team where horse doesn't say, hey coach, my elbow's bothering me, or my knee's bothering me today, or my ankle's bothering me. Horses give us very subtle, very sublime kind of hints when there's a problem. And so I'll see something that just doesn't seem right, or it seems out of the ordinary, and I'll call Don over and we'll put our heads together. But it's not always obvious. We just looked at a horse just now that could be any of two or three things, and really there's really nothing obvious, but she's obviously a hair off.
She's a hair off, and I think it could be one thing, but there's a reason to believe it might not be that. We just took an x-ray of something else. It's not that. So we may have to go to diagnostic blocks at this point. We're going to formulate a plan and decide what to do to ensure that this horse's future stays very profitable, and we don't jeopardize a horse's future by making the wrong decision at this point.
And the horse we're talking about is a 2-year-old, and 2-year-olds are the future of the business. I mean, 2-year-olds, I've said it time and time again, they're kind of like high school kids, and you don't take a high school kid and do the wrong thing. If a high school kid gets hurt, you make them sit out, and if this filly doesn't get better, we're going to make her sit out, and that's the way it is. But the racetrack veterinarian's job is not just about looking at a horse, diagnosing it, and going on to the next one. The rules and regulations these days have gotten absolutely insane, and I don't know how Don keeps up with the rules, because they seem to change almost daily.
They change week to week, and the level of bureaucratic paperwork and burdensome records and requesting information on what was done to horses is gotten to the point where that becomes another couple of hours every day of work, just providing paperwork to the bureaucrats.
And you know what? We all do it ultimately for the health of the horse. So we've come full circle over the last 20, 30 years to where we're very, very regulated. Medication is incredibly regulated. I mean, an airline pilot can have more drugs in a system than a horse can that's racing. Right or wrong?
That's for sure. And Olympic athletes can even have more in them than these horses can have.
I mean, if we give so much as a Tylenol to a horse within 24 hours of a race, that horse is going to come up positive. So, I mean, it's very, very regulated. And Don, as my vet and the vet of many others, he has to keep the timing down correct and really make a lot of decisions every day. I just don't know how you do it, Don.
I do it because if I don't do it, I'd get fired.
Right. That's true. I've never fired him, but I probably would. Yeah, but you know,
Gotta keep you guys out of trouble.
you do. And you know what? So the racetrack vet, it's not an easy job. It's all day, all night, and I'm sure, just like a trainer, every time you buy 2 tickets to Broadway for you and your wife,
Good
somebody
luck.
calls with a colic, correct?
I have my 25th wedding anniversary happening right after Saratoga. What do you think the odds of doing anything special are?
No, you and your wife will probably be here oiling a horse with midnight colic.
Exactly.
Well,
When my daughter was born, I went to the hospital and I said, "Look, I gotta go. I'll be back later."
your beeper went off, right?
The beeper went off, but it was close to the track, the hospital. So that was good.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, it's not an easy job, and I'm blessed to have a guy like Don Baker working for me because he really is the best veterinarian on the racetrack, and I love him.
Well, that's nice to say. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. But we all have our strong and weak points, and I do what I do. Other people do what they do. Some do this better, some do that better. But I do what I do, and it works for me, and it works for you.
It sure does. Thanks from Gary Contessa TV.